Presenting TFM. The most happening music, the most important news, and most importantly, your views. At Times of Oman radio station. TFM. Let's talk.
Hello and welcome to the Midday Update. Here's the latest update from our newsroom. Company owners and employees have welcomed the decision to scrap Oman's no objection certificate, which comes into effect from January 1st, 2021. When that happens, expat workers can switch jobs from one company to another if they furnish proof of the end of work contract or its termination. Nalin Chandana, the CEO of National Gas Company, said this would help companies hire talented expats locally instead of relying on workers based overseas. I think that companies have in the past spent a lot of money in trying to recruit foreign talent from overseas because they were unable to secure the services of skilled foreign workers in the country. It would have been a lot harder to hire expats based in the country because they need an NOC, which might be difficult to get. However, these expats have the experience of working in the country, they have a home here, they have a driving license, and they are familiar with the way things work, so it would be better to encourage migration from within the country than get someone from abroad. It is also a lot more cost-effective for companies. Foreigners are prohibited from acquiring real estate and lands in the Sultanate except for the integrated tourism complexes. On Sunday, the Minister of Housing issued the executive regulations of the law banning expats' ownership of land and real estate in specified places. According to the law, the land and real estate that is prohibited to be owned by expats shall be determined from the date of application of the law, and it has to include the following: agricultural lands in all governorates, other lands and real estate built in all governorates of the Sultanate, wilayats, mountains, and island defined according to the law, archaeological quarters, land around palaces, and the headquarters of specific security and military authorities, except for the integrated tourism complexes. The Secretariat of Land Registry in the Ministry shall prepare a register of lands and real estate owned by expats and refrain from recording the actions undertaken by non-Omani owners on the lands, the Ministry said. Sand dunes formed along the roads in the Wilayat of Mahud Al-Wusta Governorate led to two collision accidents yesterday where the vehicles hit with the steel barricades at the main road in the Wilayat of Mahud. The sandstorm along the Adam Mahud road led to the formation of sand and disturbance to traffic. The Royal Oman Police in this regard urged drivers to exercise caution, mainly during the night due to the presence of sand on the roads. Though the number of house fires has decreased, the authorities in Oman have asked people to remain cautious while operating appliances that could accidentally cause blaze. According to data released by the Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance, residential fires reported in 2019 stood at 1,152, down from 1,335 the previous year, indicating a decrease of 183 house fires during this period. Officials at Pagda said that the causes of fire accidents in residential facilities, which coincide with high temperatures in summer, are due to several reasons, including negligence and non-compliance with safety guidelines when dealing with electrical appliances, cooking gas, and other devices. Pagda also advised people to take precautions to prevent such fires from starting, including sharing advice with those unfamiliar with such devices or making sure they did not use it without knowing how they worked. The advice also involved people remembering to close their stoves once they are done with them, to not overload their electrical sockets, and ensure that electronic devices and household appliances were properly connected and regularly maintained. A recovery plan to restart domestic and then international flights has been prepared by the Ministry of Transport and submitted to the Supreme Committee in charge of coronavirus. The Minister of Transport, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Al-Fataisi, said the aviation sector is one of the most affected sectors as there is almost complete disruption of commercial operations since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. The Public Authority of Civil Aviation prepared a recovery plan that was submitted to the Supreme Committee with specific dates to open domestic and then international flights, but the decision to restart air traffic lies with the Supreme Committee based on the available data. There will be isolated rains in some parts of the Sultanate, accompanied by thunderstorms and fresh winds. There are chances of hail over the Al Hajar Mountains and adjacent vilayats, the Public Authority for Civil Aviation said. In its weather forecast for today, PACA said that mainly clear skies over the Sultanate, chances of late night to early morning low clouds along the coastal areas. The expected maximum and minimum temperatures will be 37 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees in Muscat, 34 degrees and 28 degrees in Salalah, 41 degrees and 32 degrees in Khasab, 36 degrees and 29 degrees in Sohar, 42 degrees and 30 degrees in Sur, 45 degrees and 28 degrees in Nizwa, 46 degrees and 28 degrees in Ibri, and 46 degrees and 36 degrees in Brahmi. In addition to that, we have a special guest joining us who is going to talk about the withdrawal of NOC that came into action yesterday and will be implemented from 1st January 2021. Let's welcome Mr. Shiv Gupta, CEO of one of the private companies in Muscat. Thank you so much, Mr. Shiv, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for asking me to join this meeting.
So, Mr. Shiv, as I'm sure you're familiar with the news of NOC that has been withdrawn from the Sultanate starting from the 1st January 2021 next year, how did you receive this news?
I received through the Times of Oman news alert. We have already subscribed those alerts, and it was definitely a welcoming news when I heard that. In fact, to be very honest with you, it is, I can say the mixed comments on that. As an employer, I can say that we may not be able to retain certain employees who would like to switch over, but at the same time, we will have a flexibility to hire some employees whom we think they are suitable for our company. And in general, when we require to hire workers, we look for local resources, and then if they are not available, then we look for overseas locations. I can definitely say that with the NOC clause, we will be able to hire in-country local resources who may have a lot of experience in local market. The most important positive part of what I can see that we can save a lot of mobilization cost actually. Normally when we hire the new employee, we will have to pay for their flight tickets, their family, in fact, their relocation cost. So when somebody is already in the town, in the country, he may have their house there, the kids will be all schools. So we can save a lot of costs in terms of relocation.
Right, Mr. Shiv Gupta, how do you see the employees have taken this news?
Obviously, they are very happy, and I've been getting a lot of messages from my a lot of employees saying that, sir, we got this news. I hope you are. I don't know whether it was a kind of indication or it is like a positivity, but I am taking it positive, and definitely it will open up the market, and it will also create a lot of competitiveness. Like as we all know that without NOC, so far nobody can switch over the employment. So people will start taking it. They'll be having a relaxed mindset of that nobody can replace them. But with this rule, there'll be always a competitive fairness that, okay, fine, if I don't perform, somebody will replace them quite easily. So I can take it definitely in a positive way.
And how do you think, sir, the withdrawal of this NOC are going to help the employees and employee starting from next year?
It will definitely, as I mentioned, that it is going to have, first of all, when we hire new resources, the area is quite wide. We start looking, because there is no option to look for a local available resources. We might be knowing some people, ex-colleagues, friends who would be a right candidate for your organization. But unfortunately, due to the NOC rule, we may not be able to hire them. But definitely, we will be having an open kind of mind set up to speak to them, talk to them, negotiate with them, and look for them to join our company. So definitely, I'm taking it positive, and at the same time, employees will have a lot of positivity in their mind. So far, they were bound to work with the employer, but with NOC, in fact, they will have a lot of positive in the mindset of to look for a better job, increment. At the same time, employer will also have a kind of thought process. If you don't satisfy the need of your employees, they may find a different way to leave your company.
Mr. Shiv Gupta, please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that you are dealing with a bunch of private companies together. You're not focusing in one sector. What is exactly that you're looking into?
I'm managing IT companies. We are having a software development companies, and where we manage in-house product and applications, and we serve our local clients in Sanlantana, Oman. So we definitely IT resources. We always look for competitiveness in our nation. We also look for other employees who are working in the country to be a part of your team. So in that way, definitely our IT business will have a positive boost.
You think that which sector do you think is going to be more shaken or more active?
As I said, I am since I am managing software development companies. For me, IT company will be having a lot of advantage and getting resources from in country. And definitely, I will have a small concern which I would like to share with you. There will be some sort of kind of information leak and privacy, where this is the risk factor we always feel, that what if my employee leaves the company and goes to another company and share the confidential data and information. This is the only small concern, which can be a big concern for many companies like other software development companies, where we don't sell the virtual product. We are based on the technology and information which a person will have on their mind, which will a person will have on their computers, which will have a kind of impact in both sides. So there we are very much concerned that how this IT company will take. But definitely in IT companies, it is a most positive for us.
We are bringing you a breaking news live from the Ministry of Health that just announced the registration of new COVID-19 cases in the country. Officials at the Ministry of Health announced the registration of 604 new coronavirus cases in the country today. 344 of the new cases are Omani nationals and 264 non-Omanis, bringing the total number of coronavirus cases registered in the Sultanate to 17,486. Now, this number, according to the Ministry of Health, also includes the recovery of 3,793 patients and 81 deaths. The ministry urged everyone to adhere to social distancing instructions issued by the Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health and stay at home and not go out unnecessary. This was the breaking news coming live from our studio. Registration of new coronavirus cases registered in the Sultanate today, which is 604. Out of 344 are the new cases for Omani and 266 for non-Omanis, bringing the total number of new coronavirus cases in the country to 17,486, including the recoveries of 3,793 patients and 81 deaths. Sorry, Mr. Shiv Gupta, we had to take a breaking news in between about the cases that were just announced by the Ministry of Health.
This is no problem.
So, Mr. Gupta, we were talking about how this withdrawal of NOC is going to help and boost the economy as well as the employers and employees working.
It will definitely boost the economy in the positive shape, because you will have in-country expenditure also when employees leave the country for break, let's say a month or two before they switch over the new company. Even with the NOC, their cost of spending will be outside the country. When they have option and flexibility to switch over the job, so whatever spending they will be having in between, it will be retained in the country. So definitely it has a lot of impact, which will be bringing in country. So definitely I'm taking it in a positive shape.
That you have to give out to the employees who have been, cherishing and have been celebrating this news since yesterday.
Definitely. As I said, that my employees have been sending messages. I'm taking as a warning, actually, to be very honest with you, that, okay, they are sending an indication that now, hey, listen, if you don't look at my problems, we have option to switch over. Okay, fine, which we are taking in a positive, and we always try to help our employees in a best possible way. We take care of all their necessary and genuine requirements, and definitely we look for improving self. Spending will be outside the country.
Yes, Mr. Shiv Gupta, sorry, we are just getting a lot of messages online on our Facebook platform. People are asking so many questions that I don't think we have enough time to take a few. I'll just run down with one question. People are saying that as an employer, how are you taking this news? Are you taking it as a warning like you just said, or are you accepting the news as it comes to your way?
Definitely, as I said, that it is a warning. It is a warning for our employer as well that we cannot ignore the real need of the employees. Obviously, when you talk professionals, they should be having a lot of flexible time where if they are not satisfied with the current employer, they should to move to the next employer. So I am taking it definitely positive way. Obviously, they will be having some impact. Everyone has two shades. So definitely it may have some impact. As I mentioned that a lot of employees should be as a horse race, whether they start negotiating multiple companies at the same time and they can start over with a whenever they want. So there is only negative factor I'm seeing. Otherwise, I'm taking a positive way.
Mr. Shiv Gupta, we'll just take one last question very quickly. One of the viewers is asking, are you worried that with the withdrawal of NOC, you are going to be losing some of your employees?
Definitely, this is the main concern of any employer may have, and this is a very genuine concern. The most important part is when we hire an employee, we always look for a long-term perspective. When we take a good employee, we take care of their initial requirements. When you join a new company, there are a lot of things you try to be managed by your sponsor, by your company, and we do that. And when employee gets another offer, and sometimes they overlook your help and kind of initial support you have helped him. So those factors are something that I always request to all people across that who are planning to switch over. Definitely think rationally, think about your employer also, and definitely employees' perspective. It is positive, as I said.
Thank you once again, Mr. Shiv Gupta, for joining us for such an interesting session today.
You're most welcome.
Thank you for all the viewers and listeners for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow at 2 p.m. with our show Outline. So stay tuned and keep watching TTV.